few days ago I posted on Instagram in a story, and I asked people to tell me what are you curious about photography, like if you have any questions that I might be able to answer you. And I'm going to start with the first question. Somebody asked me about photometers. Should you use it or not? And yeah, I've used photometers. They were quite useful in the film era. If you're shooting film, they are useful because with film you're shooting blindly. You don't really see the result immediately. And using artificial lighting, the camera meter is useless. So it doesn't help you at all. And in this sense, what they used to do is to use the photometer to measure the light coming from the strobes. And sometimes like they would take this Polaroid, they would load Polaroids into the medium format camera, and they would shoot a photo with the Polaroid to kind of see where the light is. But yeah, this was in film era, or this is if you're still shooting film. If you're not shooting film anymore, in my opinion, it doesn't make sense. You are shooting digital, especially photometers are especially used in the studio. Because outside, when you're using natural light, you have the meter from the camera itself. And nowadays with mirrorless cameras, you have live view simulation. So you see the exposure live on the viewfinder. But in the studio, is it still relevant? No. And the reason for this is because not only you can just snap a photo and see the result, and if you're an experienced photographer, and most people working in the studio, if you're already working in the studio, I'm assuming you already have some experience with photography. So you already know kind of the ballpark, like approximate settings and power for the lights, that you know that it's roughly this, it's an estimation. But aside from that, most of the time you're shooting tethered. So you shoot the photo and the photo immediately shows up on the screen of your computer. You have the histogram in camera. And especially on the computer, you have the RGB levels that you can check within the software Lightroom or Capture One. So there is really no reason to use a photometer. You will check the exposure, and the exposure in the software on the computer, it's much more reliable than any photometer on the market. You might have the best photometer, and it's still not 100% accurate. And you see the outcome, you see the result. In the end, you do waste less time, in my opinion. So I don't really see any reason to use a photometer nowadays if you're shooting digital, and especially if you're not using artificial light. I don't believe there is any reason to use a photometer. So I hope this answers the question. If you have any more doubts or questions, anything you want to know about photography, let me know down in the comments. Subscribe my channel and follow me on Instagram, and hope I'll see you next time. Thank you.